Let's switch gears now and talk about some real parliamentary politics. On the 29th of May, the Buhari government will officially begin a second term in office after the victory they got at the polls. His party, of course, at the APC, that is. The National Assembly will be inaugurated a few days later. Remember the politics and intrigues of the 8th Assembly, where the APC got some of the greatest woes they could ever envisage after the party was torn apart over the leadership of the National Assembly. Tonight, we'll be dissecting and analyzing the issues. I have joining me from our Abuja studio, a member of the House of Representatives, will be getting a third term because he's now re-elected, Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin. You know him very too well. Thank you so much, Honorable, for coming out tonight. Such a pleasure to have you. But let's take a look at some of the issues. Perhaps let me ask you quickly about your state, Kano State. Indeed, the president got an overwhelming vote in Kano State. The candidate of your party is struggling to survive. You'll be having the supplementary elections in a couple of days. Now, the intrigue is exciting, isn't it? Is it a rejection, or what exactly has happened, transpired between 2 weeks of the presidential election and the governorship election? What has changed?
Completely. Thank you very much, Sean. Completely not a rejection. The governor of Kano State has not been rejected. It's a competitive, very competitive election. The voters in Kano are very aware. The issues are clearly spelled out. And I think we've always known that it's going to be a tough one. But the most important thing is that a rerun has been scheduled, and all the necessary loose ends are being tightened. And I'm pretty sure that we will win the election at the end of the day, and APC will make a government at the state level in Kano.
Perhaps we should get into the analysis of the 2019 election of the National Assembly. Let me get your thoughts. How did this come to you? Are you surprised by what has happened?
Can you take that again?
The election of 2019, the National Assembly elections, how it all panned out. A lot of your colleagues are not coming back. For example, in the Senate president isn't coming back. Okay. Your very good friend whom you supported is coming by, Yakubu Dogara. You supported him. You were very loud at the time campaigning for him. The intrigues led to those who were coming back and those who were not coming back. How did this come to you?
Okay, thank you. I get the question now. I wasn't surprised because we've always known that we got a very good leader in Mr. President who did a fantastic job in the last 4 years and mobilized the party effectively, bring everybody on board, consulted very widely. And we've always said to our colleagues in the National Assembly that APC is going to make majority in the House. So really, I wasn't surprised that we still have overwhelming majority in the House. But again, it is one thing to have the majority in the House. It's another thing to be able to utilize that majority to the advantage of the party and, of course, the government of the day.
We'll take a break, Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin. You are one person that have seen some troubles in the 8th Assembly. But we'll talk about the 9th Assembly. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be back after this break. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. So, Honorable Abdulmumin Jibrin has been talking to us on the program. Let's take a look at some of the breakdown. So, the 8th National Assembly, this is how it all looks like. And the spread from the northwest, where the president comes from, the southwest, where the vice president comes from. The Senate president is from the north center of the PDP stock anyways. Also of the PDP stock is the deputy Senate president from the southeast, the deputy speaker from the southwest, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives from the Northeast, Bauchi State, to be precise. Let's look at what could play out, because that's what we'll be engaging Honorable Moment on. For the 9th Assembly, we already have a president from the Northwest, a vice president from the Southwest. Where will the Senate president, the deputy Senate president, the deputy speaker, and the speaker, where would they be coming from? These are going to be major issues. You know what played out in the 8th Assembly and some of the politics and the crisis which is caused in the APC. Take a look at this. This is some of the breakdown of the elected members, Senate in the APC. 63 members from the APC presently, according to what INEC gave us. PDP has 37 seats, YPP 1 seat, undecided seat 8, and the total number of Senate seats 109. Let's take a look at this. This is some of the positions that will be contested for or that will be up for grabs in the National Assembly. Let's talk about the politics. Honorable Abdulmemi Jibrin, how do you see this playing out? This bedeviled your party was a major crisis. What do you see for the 9th Assembly and how your party should handle it?
Well, as you are aware, in the case of the 8th Assembly, what you just displayed on the screen wasn't how the APC as a party wanted it to look like. So be that as it may, or whatever we can say now, that has been overtaken by events. In the 9th Assembly, I believe that the party should have come out to give some kind of direction about what we should do. Most of us actually believe that this time around we should go with the party supremacy. And when we say party, we actually mean what the president wants. So if what the party wants tallies with what the president wants, that's fine. If it does not tally with what the president wants, we are going to do precisely what the president wants us to do. Because at the end of the day, everything stops on his desk. And so this time around, we had expected, I personally, with the experience of 2015, I had expected that by now the party must have given the direction. Well, we are aware that in the next few days, a few weeks, they're going to give direction on what we need to do. But again, it's getting late. Lawmakers are not the kind of people that you just tell sit down and they sit down. So much is happening now in the National Assembly. We've left it a bit open. A lot of sellers have emerged. A lot of candidates have emerged for the office of the Senate President, for the office of the Speaker. Now, the fear is that by the time the party comes and gives instruction on what they want us to do, will the government or the party have the capacity to manage the interests of those who have already indicated their interest of control for various offices? Now, if you had done that 2 weeks ago, under whatever circumstances, you've given some kind of direction. If anybody at this point is coming out to say he's contesting, you can clearly say he's going against the party's interests. But you have not done that. And every minute, every second, when it comes to the leadership election in National Assembly matters. As I'm talking to you, meetings are holding in different locations in Abuja. So I think it's really serious issues. We wouldn't want a situation where, we would love to see a situation where when the party gives instruction, it becomes the end of the matter, but not the end of another beginning in terms of the policies of the National Assembly.
The way you're describing it, you are talking about what the president wants. Well, the de facto leader of the party, because we know the chairman of the national chairman of the party is a real leader of the party in the real party system. So, but the question now is that what your party wanted in 2015 wasn't what some of the members of the National Assembly wanted. What if that plays out this time around? Okay, so the question I was asking is that in 2015, your party wanted a certain member, Honorable Gbajabiamila from the Southwest. That's what the party wanted at the time. You supported Yakubu Dogara. That's what some of the members of the House of Reps supported. Is the party still probably going with Gbajabiamila in this case?
I think it will be unfair to be asking whether the party will be with Gbajabiamila, but of course you would have had a lot of the issues on the air, the zoning, names being peddled around, or names being mentioned around. I, as a person, of course, I would naturally have my preference like every other member in the National Assembly. But for now, I think the whole of what you hear about zoning, about candidates, about names, etc., you can all classify it as rumor, because there is nothing that has come out officially. Then on the aspect of the president, of course, I understand that some people say, oh, no, the president should not be involved. I think I've always argued that it is very unfair for you to say the president should not be involved in a National Assembly election. We are all involved in getting him elected as president. And it is not an exclusivity of 360 members. It also has to do with our constituents. Our constituents should also have influence on each one member, what they want him to do at the level of National Assembly. So President Barry himself belongs to a particular constituency. So if you even look at it from that dimension alone, he should have every right. In fact, personally, I believe that he should not only be involved, he should publicly be involved in what happens in terms of leadership election in the National Assembly, so that we do not go and have the case of 2015. We are faced as a party with two major threats. And I don't understand if the party actually realize how dangerous those threats are. One, you have a sitting Senate president and a speaker. And so why do you want to just assume that they will just sit down and watch things just happen? No, they will be interested in taking over from their own.
Let's close the program, Honorable Jibrin. Let's close the program. And your final thought in 30 seconds, please, if you give us that opportunity to quickly do that. And the big question is, what if the party decides like 2015 and the members decide otherwise?
Well, I actually do not think the members will go otherwise, but naturally, opinion differs. At the moment when you go into the National Assembly, you get conflicting opinion, a cocktail of opinion. Everybody wants something different, and that's just why I'm actually concerned if the party actually understands that the 300 members that have been elected so far, or 300 plus, everybody is holding different kind of opinion. But I also understand that if the party comes on time, do the necessary lobbying, reach out to members, create several committees and the rest in good time, and following it up with, backing it up with the necessary action, I think members will be able to sit down and reason. And not only members of the APC, you have to play the politics. You have to reach out to the opposition. You also have to reach out to the opposition party, the PDP, talk to them. You may not be able to get the whole of the PDP as a party, but you will be able to pick, because it's an election. You'll be able to pick.
We're out of time, Honorable Jibrin. But it's a pleasure talking to you. And I wish you guys the very best in the 9th Assembly. Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. If you look at the screen behind me, this is what the dilemma on the hands of the APC going into the 9th Assembly. But that's where we leave the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Okimale. Bye-bye.